Hello Guyanese, welcome again. I hope that the last video I posted tweak your interest, and I'll ask you if you like the videos and you want to hear more when I posted new ones, subscribe to the channel. So once you subscribe, you will get the notice when a new one is posted. And secondly, share with your friends. If you share it, then more people will see it, and then it becomes a lot more discussion. Also, if you like it, give a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give a thumbs down, and that will also help me. Also, leave a comment if you want. All right. So the last time we spoke, I talked about using our oil wealth to move our people inland. And I want to share this with you that it's on the nation, it's available worldwide on the web. And this is the map that intrigued me the most. This one is, it says here, low hills and mountains. And what I'm talking about is that this line here that we see, all this here, these are our lowlands. What that means, my fellow Guyanese, is that should the Atlantic increase its water level, and which is likely to happen in the near future, and it's happening now as we speak, it means Mabaruma, the Pomeroon area, Charity, Parika, Bartica, even Linden, of course, New Amsterdam, all these areas here will be most likely underwater. So it means these will be gone. Now, will it happen overnight? I don't think so. It will be gradual. So as the water begins to take our land or encroach our land, these areas here is where I recommend that we start new arrangements. And this is where whoever lives in these areas will survive. Those who remain on the coast most likely will suffer. We still have some time, I believe. I think we have maybe 10 years, 15 years. So now is the time to start that process. And what I recommend strongly is that we look at places like Madia, which is in this area here. And if I can bring up that map, I'll see, yeah, this is Linden, Kakwani, Isano, Madia. These areas should be very safe to live in. So most of this region 9, which is Latem and so on, in region 8, it should be good. Part of region 7, even part of region 6 will be good. So as we go back to this map, we are seeing which area is likely to survive the Atlantic. So I'm asking our government to start the process of educating our population. Stop giving house lots on the coast, because these are the lowlands. That's what the map says. These are our lowlands. And all of these is likely to be underwater in the future. Now, when will it happen? It's anybody's guess. But if you're going to wait until it happens, then start developing the interior of Guyana, we'll be making a grave mistake. So I'm saying, Mr. President, please let us start this process now. First we have to get the oil contract rewritten, not renegotiated, rewritten. How do we do that? That's a process that we'll have to follow. Exxon will have to come to the table. They know that they're getting the upper hand right now because of, they seem to control everything, Guyana. They're controlling the EPA, they're controlling the government. They control everything right now. We need to stop that, and we can do it now. Even part of Suriname will be gone, so Suriname is also, we'll have to look at that. But this area here, and it's quite a bit area, and I'm saying these are the areas that we need to concentrate. Maybe my recommendation is that we move our city to, let me get back that map, maybe in the Ichuni area, Madya area, this might be a good area to relocate our city. Gropakari, Kakwani, Isanu Landing, these are areas that will survive. Anai, of course, in the middle of the country. So these areas here will likely to survive. And this is what I'm talking about. Let us start the process of telling our people it's about time we start look, the south and west, because the north and the east, most of that will be gone. So please, Guyanese, let us look at that option. And for those of you who are forward thinkers, let us start the process of that. So what I'm saying is that if we can get that contract rewritten and we get the bulk, well, not the bulk, but what belongs to us, in my view, it's at least 60%. Some countries get more than that. And if we can do that, then we'll be in a good position. So as we said at the beginning, this is what I had suggested, and then this is what I came up with. If we were to do 25 new settlements, we want to call it communities, whatever you want to call it. If we were to do 25, and I said our population is about 800,000, so if we were to divide it equally, it will be about 32,000 Guyanese, which is man, woman, and child, will be in each community. Now, if we were to do 30 communities, it will be about 26,600 Guyanese. Again, if you do 35 communities, it will be about 22,000 average. That is the current 800,000 Guyanese. Of course, as we begin to do that process, more Guyanese who lives overseas will come back home to be one of these communities. And this is where we can transform Guyana. Currently, we are hearing, and it's sad that we are hearing from the PNC especially, about Guyana being such a racist state and all this nonsense. There are racial problems, but we are not a racist state. I don't think the PUP is a racist government. Some of you might view it differently. So we want to avoid that in our new dispensation. And I'm saying to do that, and I want to be careful how I say this, because I don't want to say I'm dividing the country. I'm not. Our body is made up of one body, but it's have different parts. We have the head, in the head, we have the eyes, the nose, the ears, the mouth, and so on. Then we have the neck where the voice box is. And then we have, the chest, that is, a heart and whatever it is, you medical people know. Then, of course, we have our arms and legs and so on. And each one performs its own function. But they're not divided. They're still one body. So I'm saying that, look at the Amerindian community as we speak. None of us can just drive up into an Amerindian community and say, oh, I'm going to start live here. It doesn't work like that. First, you can go. No one is stopping anyone to go into any community in Guyana. But if you want to live in that Amerindian community, you will have to get permission from the Tushaw and from the council. I think that's very fair. And that is what I'm saying as we begin to set up communities, new communities within Guyana. So if the Africans think that, the Indians are racist and everything is bad about Indians, then we should give those, Guyanese who thinks that they can work with themselves the opportunity to be in a community of their own. That is not dividing the country. If the Indians believe that, they want to work in a community of their own kind, then we should allow it to happen. There are many people in Guyana, including me, who will love to live in mixed communities. And we should also give that opportunity. But again, there are different people who will want to do different things. So let's look back at the Indian community. We are seeing a news reported recently and a newspaper today, I believe, that someone did a YouTube video of Guyana being Hindu. And what the person was saying is that most of Guyana is Christian. About, he said 63%, somewhere there. Now, we start this religious thing again, but I also want to say in the new dispensation, the new Guyana is that if Hindus want to live in a community on their own, they must be given that opportunity. If Muslims want to live in a community made up of Muslims only, they must be given that opportunity. If Christians want to live a community on their own, they must be given that opportunity. If Guyanese of any religion want to live in a community that has Christian, Muslims, Hindu, and everything else, they must also be given that opportunity. So everyone will have a choice where you want to go and live. And I think if we do that, that will really negate the problem with that ethnicity. That, oh, these black people or these Kuli people or these, whatever we want to call ourselves. That will subside. Now, this is a very ticklish issue, so I don't want to be seen, and I'm sure some people accuse me, oh, look, he wants to divide the country. That is not the case. I'm saying let us form communities in the new dispensation, and in doing that, we can negate this problem of racism. The other thing we will do is how do we elect the government in the future. So if we have 25 communities, let's say, and I'm just calling a number, then the person who running for president must win more than half of these communities. Each community will have one vote to determine who the president would be. Each community will have one member of parliament elected by their people. So each community will have one member of parliament. Each community will represent one vote for the purpose of the presidency. So whatever the people in the community voted, the majority will vote for whoever get the majority vote in that community will win that community for the purpose of president. But again, I want to go through that in a different video. What I'm saying here is that each community from our oil funds should get an equal distribution of cash. Now, based on what my formula is showing here is that 445,000 or 585,000, oh no, it's not thousand, sorry. 445 million or 585 million will be available. Now, of course, each community will develop its own infrastructure, its housing, its road, its shopping area, its factories, its fields for production. Whatever the community will do, and then I'll get into detail into that, but each community will get an equal distribution of cash from oil resource. So if it's 200 million a year, if it's 300 million a year, then that is what each community will get to develop their community. So we're going to start that process, and in my next video, I will go into a little more detail into that. In the meantime, take care, and God bless our great country that we call Guyana. Take care.